Hi and welcome along to the Bias Premier League show, brought to you today by Boohoo Man. Don't forget, click the link in the description to get yourself huge discounts off of all of their clothing, like what I've got on here, like what Yardie's got on there. Big up to Boo. I like that. You got all Japanese on me. Chinese.
Yeah, Japanese. You know what I mean?
Japanese.
It's with the latest signing and thing. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, okay. Takehiro Tomiyasu. Looking forward to seeing him play. Looking forward to seeing him play. But the link is in the description if you want to get involved with any of that. Yeah, you know, all the new signings. I think we didn't speak since we haven't spoken since that, but all the signings have been done and they're all in place. Happy? No.
Hey, listen. Let me tell you something. Like, I don't even know the new guy, the Japanese guy. I don't even know his name properly yet. So, I'm sure I'll mess it up a couple of times. But you know what? Yeah. Let's see, man. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to the Premier League season finally starting this weekend. So, you know what I mean? We had a long preseason. Our preseason has been very long. So, yeah, finally our Premier League should be starting this season.
We're going to touch on the Premier League in a minute, but first of all, let's talk about England. They've won their 2 games in qualifying very easily, including the one yesterday against Andorra, in which Saka got a hero's reception. Man. Started the game by all the fans, which was really beautiful to see. And then he topped it off by scoring a goal, and it was his birthday as well.
Great day for Saka. Get an assist as well, an assist.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, it was a good game for him. You know, like, obviously, let's be real, Andorra are not going to be much great opposition. But still, you know what I mean? It's as a top team, which England is, you need to go out there and put in a top performance. And they just went out there and did their job. And yeah, man, Saka, you know, we know Saka is a talented player, and I'm happy for him to get a goal and assist and had a great game. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, overall happy, and yeah, back-to-back 4 goals. So
I was saying at the time when everything went down with Saka and he got that racial abuse after the final when he missed the penalty. I remember saying in a couple of interviews that I did that I feel, rather than it being a negative, it's going to be a positive. It's going to be the making of him. And it really has been, because he now is, you could say, he has become one of the most popular players in this country.
Of course, 100%.
You know, because, you know, obviously his football ability, we all know about, is brilliant. But also the way he handled himself in that situation, and the way he's handled himself since, you know, you can see he's just such a humble kid.
That's it.
An honourable kid, and it's just been really amazing what he's done, and it just goes to show that you can, you know, these races can't stop you, and you can bounce back from these sort of things. And again, the fans gave him such a great welcome. You can see his teammates absolutely love him as well, and it's really good to see.
You know, you're right. The key word was humble, and I feel like for a young boy as talented as him, he's not even young. Man, he's young, but you know what I mean. Like for the age that he's at, the talent that he has, and just the way he goes about his career is beautiful to see. And I feel like that's probably why everybody loves Saka. Really, you get me? I feel like everybody would love to have Saka in their team. You know what I mean? Because of how he is as well. You know, and it's just amazing that we have him, and hopefully that, you know, next 4 or 5 years, when, you know, he's at an age now where he should be reaping benefits and winning some trophies for us. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
we're definitely happy to have him.
We was talking about it yesterday. We were doing the live stream, and we was talking about there's certain players that you love. It doesn't matter that they play for other teams, right? You love them. So the obvious one's Kante. He's another one. N'Golo Kante plays for Chelsea. You can't help but love that guy. Another one that was said was Son at Tottenham.
That's true enough.
Right? But it's hard to hate on him, isn't it? It's hard to hate on him. There are certain players like that, isn't it? There's certain players that they just transcend that hatred and tribalism of football fans.
No, definitely. You know what I mean? You know, funny enough, even there's one player that, I not say I hate is a strong word, but I used to dislike, and all of a sudden I kind of like him now, you know. And it's Lingard. And I don't know if it was the loan that he had at a West Ham or something, but I like him now. You know what I mean? And before I never used to like him. I think what he used to do to us in time he played against us and that. You know the thing I don't like him. But yeah, man. So there's some players you hate, you just don't like them. Costa was one of them. We never used to like Costa. When I would like Costa to be my team all the time, but I never liked playing against him. I just hated some of the antics that he went on with on the pitch, and he was very cheeky and mischievous and a bit of a cheat as well at times. So I didn't like it. But
how do you think you're going to be with Ronaldo now that he's coming back? He's going to be at Man United. The thing is about it, right? Is he going to be hated or is he going to be loved? Obviously, he's going to be loved by every Man United fan throughout the because he was already loved. He's double loved now. He turned down.
They sell 35 million in their jerseys alone. 35 million on that number 7. Listen, like Ronaldo, the thing about the Ronaldo saga, that happened recently, is when that whole thing was going around. Oh, he's going Man City. It's a done deal. He's going Man City. It's funny because all of a sudden, all the Ronaldo fans from Man United were admitting that Messi is the GOAT. I don't know. I'm not getting involved in that. That's their business. But you know what I mean? It was like their people delete. Even Flex had to go and delete some tweets and everything as well. But look, man, you cannot hate the man football ability. You know what I mean? To be honest, it was good back in the day when he was here. When we had a team with Henry and that, it was great. You know what I mean? Because as much as he give, he got back. No, we don't have that team. So
as soon as he puts that shirt on, that Man United shirt on, the hate is back. But you know what? No, I absolutely admire him as a player. I mean, who can't? You know what I mean? The guy is like, he's done everything. He's like, the other day he broke the goal scoring record in international games. You saw that's what that guy does. That's what I think. I think United are going to have a very, very good season because he's in their team now. Because
hold on, stick up in. And it's something with Gabby a bungalow or bungo hole or whatever he wants.
A bonio.
Whatever he want him, I thought about he would pick Kane. What? Brother, Ronaldo.
He picked Kane over Ronaldo?
Yeah, if I would go any day.
Gabby a bonio, man. I like some of his opinions sometimes, but I ain't having that.
No
Ronaldo
way.
All day long. Because the thing is
proven. The guy is proven.
Yeah, it's not just that. I mean, like you could argue that Kane's proven as well when it comes to scoring goals, but what it is, I feel that with Ronaldo, you get something extra. You get a guy like the other day I was watching that game. They're losing in that game, in that Republic of Ireland. Up he comes, he takes a penalty, then he gets the winning goal. He's that big time player that when moments where the team look like they could be down and out, he'll drag them through it. He's not just. Honestly, he's such a commanding player.
He's a legend. Let's be real.
He's a legend. And I feel that what he's going to bring to Man United, I'm scared because they're going to be very, very good.
It's a boost in the team right now because even just going into the team and the players now probably going to level up their game just because Ronaldo's in the team.
You have to win it because you think to yourself, if you. Like, the other day, what we was talking about when we played our game against Man City and the first, say, 7 minutes or so, you see the attacking players, they were at it. You know what I mean? They're doing it. They're really, and then next minute, ball goes down the other end. Concentration, lack of concentration, poor judgment, and they're a goal down.
Yeah.
Imagine if that's Ronaldo looking back at them things. He's going to be like, what? Hey. Yeah. He would demand and come. I mean, he would almost be the guy that would be able to get those guys out of the team.
Yeah, definitely.
That's how influential he'll be. So every one of those players are going to have to raise their standards, and if they don't, they'll know about it from him. And that's why it's great to have signings like that. And that's why when you look at Arsenal and their signing, their policy of transfers, whilst we all say to ourselves, yeah, great that, we've gone with this policy of bringing in young players that in the future will get better and they'll have a resale if we need to sell them. That's all great. But you also need to have some ready-made leader-type players that you can bring into the team. And I was disturbed this weekend when I saw what Edu, I don't know if you saw the interview that Edu did. I'm sure you saw it on Sky. This is the portion of it that really got a lot of Arsenal fans out there really annoyed, right? He was being asked about obviously the transfer policies, and as I said, he spoke a lot about how, you know, the profile and all that. But he says, and these are his quotes. He says he was asked about what is the aim for Arsenal this season. Where do you think they'll finish? Mm-hmm. And he said, I don't want to go for that kind of numbers, such as 4th, 6th, or 8th, or top 10. Top 10, you know. I am really looking forward to see the squad play and fit together, because I didn't see yet, and me and Mikel believe that this team can have a very good season. Now, you're being asked a question. Where are you going to finish? Do you think you're going to top 4, top 6? And he's refusing. This is Arsenal Football Club. You're refusing to say top 4, top 6. You even refusing to say top 8, top 10.
The end of the day, yeah. He answered the questions just like how Arteta answers questions as well. It is very simple. Where do you see? You know what? Our aim is always to finish in the highest position possible this season. You know what I mean? We're in a competition and we aim to finish up in the top. Obviously, we know we haven't had a great start to the season, but we are always going to push to do our best. That's a better answer than telling us, oh, not even top 10. How even top 10 reach? It's top 4, gone to top 6, top 8, what we're going to say, top 20 when we all tight. Come on, man, be serious. No, for me, it's like, no, we have to check the levels now. It's like, what happened to last season? Yeah, remember, you know. This is all you know. These guys, I'm not sure what's going on in our club, because last season the project that they had, where they recruited Willian. Remember when they bring in Willian, you know, it's because he sat down with Mikel Arteta and he believes in the project going forward and they aim to be in Champions League and winning Champions League in the next 3 years. What happened to that the plan there? That the plan gone? Because the money where we spend this season, yeah. Why we never spend it last season when we was in Europe? When we was in Europa League, why we never spend the same 150? Why we didn't spend it? Because what have we ain't sold no one to make that money. We sell one player, Willock alone we sold really. So why didn't we spend last season when we wanted Partey, we got Partey, when we wanted Awar to go in the middle as well? Why we never spend that money last season as well? Why when we was in Europe, we didn't? No, we're not in Europe. You're spending these big money, and then who you're bringing in? Young players for the future. So your project has changed from last season to this season. Now we're talking about the next 4 or 5 years. Listen, Renato Sanchez was available on loan. Yeah. Griezmann was available on loan. Yeah. Awar was available. If Awar was your player last season that you wanted, why didn't go get him this season? So it's sometimes,
you know what, Yardie?
I just believe.
You know what?
I believe Arsenal right now, the position that we're in, and with Arteta and Edu there, we can't attract a player of certain quality no more. We have to go with the young ones because they want the big club. We're still a big club. Oh, I played for Arsenal. Doesn't matter how long they stay there. They
don't think it's a big club. They don't think it's a big club.
Young players will.
Oh, wait. No. You know what? Edu and Arteta, or if I don't know if he's speaking for both of them, I'm sure he is. They don't recognize this club no longer as a big club, right? Let me say this thing, right? When you're asked that question, you give a response. We are looking. We've got off to a bad start of the season, but we're still aiming to try and get in the top 4. There's 3 games gone. There's 38. Was it 38 games in the season? There's 3 games of gone. Right, that we've lost. It's a terrible start, but the ambition of this club should still be, you know, even if he said, right, we are still looking to get into the European spots for this season. The man would be talking about 8, 10. No, I'm not giving a number on it. What? This is Arsenal. This is Arsenal. This is Arsenal Football Club. What the hell? When I hear these sort of things, I'm like, these guys should not be there. If that is how they are feeling, you can't give an answer to that question. You can't give a straight answer and say That is our aim. You put pressure on yourself and you put pressure on the manager because that's what you want to achieve this season. And if that manager doesn't achieve that, then you go and get someone else. But the aim of the club should still be the minimum. The minimum requirement this season should be top 6. And even though we've lost our first 3 games, there should still be an aim for top 4. You can acknowledge that it's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
Right? I remember, listen, a few seasons ago, when we talk about top 4, people would cuss us off and say, and to me, I would kind of agree with them in a way because the ambition at that time should have been to try and win the league.
Yeah,
and if you end up in the top 4, top 4 is your secondary thing.
Exactly.
But right now, we get it. We understand the position, but you're not even aiming to get into. You don't want to put a number on it. You don't want to put. No, man. If that is the case, then Edu shouldn't be here. And I'm not. He's a legend of Arsenal. I used to love watching this guy play. I used to be there, sitting in, watching him play in the stands week in, week out. Brilliant player. But I'm sorry, I was very disturbed when I'm hearing 6, 8, 10. What do you mean number? This is Arsenal Football Club. If that is the mindset at the top, then what's going to happen on the pitch? That means we're going to settle for 10 then.
Exactly.
Or we'll settle. If we finish 9th, we'll be cool with that because we bought a load of new young players and they had to bed in and that, so we're cool with 9th. No.
But like you said, Robbie, you see, the thing is, Edu has played for Arsenal. He knows what the club's about
and won things.
Do you understand me?
So
your mindset shouldn't be that. You should answer that and say, Arsenal is a big club, and where we are is not.
We're aiming low.
So we are looking to get Arsenal back to where they should be.
Yardie, they're aiming low. They're aiming low. That's the thing. You know what I mean? If you aim low, you get low.
Why?
They're aiming low. They're not aiming high. That's what angered so many fans over the weekend. So many fans are in disbelief because you're aiming low. If you're talking about someone's asking you a simple question, and obviously you're not going to make a fool of yourself and say you expect to win the league. But you say, minimum, we're still aiming, you're all right, we've got off to a terrible start.
You've been saying get back in Europe.
Yeah, the minimum we're aiming for is European places. That's the minimum. This is Arsenal. And he's supposed to also say, this is Arsenal Football Club. And, our ambitions is Europe at the very minimum. Mm-hmm. And we're still, and he should be saying things like, despite our poor start to the season, there's still a very long way to go. Yes, and and then he can talk about, I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of the players that have been, out with COVID and been injured. I'm looking forward to seeing them playing. And I feel that when they come back, we'll make a stronger fight of things because, we've been missing so many players. Say it that way. But don't say it like, all I want to see is the players come back and then I'll take it from there kind of thing. What's that? This is Arsenal, Arsenal.
The man sound like him just get promoted to the league. You understand? Because I'm sure if you ask Leicester, you ask West Ham, you ask any of these other teams, we are pushing to finish as high as possible in the top 4.
His response is what I'd expect the Norwich managers to say, the Brentford manager to say, all those managers down there where they just say, you know what?
We want 40 points, 45 points.
We just want to finish above the bottom 3.
Yeah.
Is that what it's going to be next? I mean, flipping hell, man. I was really, really disturbed by that answer. And I'm telling you that I just think, you know what? I looked at it and I was like, you shouldn't have done an interview. Should have just left it.
Shouldn't have nothing.
And the guy was making some very valid points as well. Who was doing the interview? I think it's Jeff Shreve, who was making very, when he's saying that, why didn't you go and get a couple more experienced players that, because you hear Eddie, he's making excuses already and these young players are going to take time.
Of course.
But you're banking on these guys.
Yeah.
Why didn't you go and get a more experienced player to bring in? I remember at the start of the transfer window, it was like Marcel Sabitzer going.
Yeah.
And I was like, he'd be perfect. 27, been there, played in Europe. Go and make an offer for him. Nah.
No answer.
But anyway,
so
we'll find out this week. It's Norwich, 6-pointer. Arsenal versus Norwich. Normally, we barely be even talking about that game, but that game is absolutely huge. Arteta has to win that game, doesn't he?
100%. Listen, look, the good thing is that Gabriel's back. Ben White should be back as well. Partey should be back. So we should have a strong starting 11. The problem, this is the only problem I have going forward with the rest of the season, is because people will always pick out, oh, but we didn't have all our players, and we didn't. At the end of the day, we have a team, and not all the players are going to play every game. We should be good enough to be beating teams. Now, look, I just hope we move forward, and we know I don't think Arteta's going anywhere this season. I honestly don't. I feel like the money they've given confirms he's staying, and we just have to put up with it. So we have to hope and pray. Like my father
let's
said,
hope and pray. Hope and pray that he turns it around. You know what I mean? We want to see.
Man,
listen, you know what? I don't really care who's in charge as long as the clubs are successful. It's nothing personal against Mikel Arteta. It's nothing personal, but this club needs to turn around this poor start of the season, and they can start it by doing it on Saturday. It's a game. It's as winnable a game as you're going to get in the Premier League. Playing Norwich at home. It's not even away. It's at home, right? So they have to go out there on Saturday and do the business. I don't think, I'd love to see a performance, but the victory is more important. The victory is more important. 3 points.
3 points, goals.
3 points is the most important thing.
Yeah, we need that.
3 points and a performance would be fantastic, but 3 points is a must in that game. I think if he doesn't win that game, the pressure piles on, and it starts to get to that. It starts to get to that critical stage of whether they don't want him to go or not. Because I remember the last hierarchy, they didn't want Emery to go. They held on for dear life with him for quite a long time. But in the end, they was forced into it. So I feel that this is a game. We've had a break. We've had time to refresh. All the players have had time to think. We've moved out certain players. This is it now. This is it.
Definitely.
Win W's only. Yeah. Who's your idiot of the week?
Idiot of the week. Arteta, you get a week off after scoring a hat trick of idiots of the week. But no, I'm gonna give a mention.
I mean, you're saying Arteta's gonna get a week off.
He might get a week off.
He's gonna get a week off. But what about Edu?
Yeah,
has he got a week off?
No, you know what? Edu could have got it as well, Listen, there's so many contenders for idiot of the week this week. There were so many. There were the hungry fans. Yeah. They should have. They're not even idiots, because They're just
scum of the week.
Yeah, scum of the week. You know what I mean? But I like to give it to the Argentina players. Yeah, I have to. How do you lie to enter a country to go and play an international game against Brazil? It's not even like it was behind closed doors. This is a big game. Brazil versus Argentina is probably one of the biggest games in South America happening. And you lie to say just because you didn't want quarantine or break restrictions or whatever. And the thing about it is, like, you think we weren't gonna see you? Did they think that people wouldn't see them on the pitch? Like, how did you get there? Yeah. And the way they
you're talking about the fact that that game had to be abandoned because it was all the players that play in the Premier League. It was Buendia, it was Emi Martinez of Villa, Lo Celso, Tottenham. None of those players. They were all supposed to have done a 14-day quarantine.
Yes,
because look at this country when it comes to this thing. But they were supposed to do a 14-day quarantine and they didn't. And the game was abandoned, and it's Argentina. What were they thinking?
Police come for the pitch. Come lock them up. Come here. Where you go? That
was crazy. That was crazy.
So that's idiot of the week, man. I don't even know how. Like, you just think, like, what was going through your mind? Like no one would see you on the pitch. Like,
that's proper idiot for real.
Idiot, man, fully.
All right, who's your Boohoo man of the week?
Big shout out to Saka. He done no score on his birthday and get an assist. Great performance, man. 100%. Can I, what I mean? Like, as we just spoke about him earlier, humble kid. And I'm just looking forward to see much more of this kid's talent shine throughout the season, man. Trust me, man. Definitely big Boohoo. I mentioned to Sterling as well in the hungry game as well. Big mention to Sterling, because Sterling did play very well as well. He played very good in that game. You know what I mean? So big up to Sterling.
All right, respect, Yardie. Thank you very much for that. Thank you to you guys for watching the show today. We'll be back in the studio next week. Don't forget, we need that W, man. It could be a very terrible show. I'll tell you that, right? Let's hope it ain't, right? But don't forget, the link is in the description. Make sure you click on that link to get yourself a discount on all stuff from Boohoo, man. Thanks for watching the show. Thanks, Yardie, and we'll be back next week.
Yeah.